Hello, I'm Jill Townsend, Chief Financial Officer for Mississinawa Community Schools. Today, I want to take a few minutes to share important updates about student enrollment, school funding, and financial challenges our district faces under Indiana's new law, Senate Enrolled Act 1. We know there's been a lot of conversation in the community about out of district students and about whether the district will be asking for a referendum. I want to be clear. Because of SEA 1, we will not be asking for a capital referendum for new facilities. Instead, the focus must be on an operating referendum to support the day to day needs for our district. Our enrollment numbers show that we've been very intentional about reducing transfer students. In 2021-22, we had 719 transfer students. By 2025-26, that number has dropped to 597. That's 103 fewer out-of-district students than last year. This reduction reflects both community input and stricter acceptance criteria. We've tightened the standards for accepting transfer students. These criteria ensure that we are prioritizing the needs of our local families and using our resources responsibly. There was a direct response to community concerns. Fewer students means less funding. For every 100 students we lose, the district loses more than $1 million in education fund revenue. That directly impacts our ability to staff classrooms and provide educational programming. To address these challenges, Mississinawa Community Schools has already absorbed $500,000 worth of staffing costs into the education fund. We are also planning an additional $1.3 million in cuts to staffing and programming by the end of the 2025-26 school year. These are not easy decisions, but they are necessary to balance the budget. The scoreboard package is just one part of a comprehensive list of improvements, planned, budgeted, and funded before SCA 1 ever existed. Our community made it clear that they did not want to see a capital referendum for new buildings or expansions. We listened. We are not pursuing that. However, the decision does come at a cost, especially as we face reduced revenue for education and operations. The greatest financial pressure we face right now is in the operations fund. This is the fund that pays for transportation, building maintenance, utilities, and other daily expenses. Because of SEA 1, the operations fund is not sustainable without additional revenue. If we do nothing, we will eventually be forced to cut non required programs and possibly even transportation. This is why an operating referendum is so important. Unlike a capital referendum, this is not about new buildings. It's about sustaining the everyday operations of our schools, making sure buses run, classrooms are supported, and programs remain in place for our students. To summarize, we've reduced out of district enrollment, we're making strategic cuts, and we've honored the community's request to avoid a capital referendum. But the reality is that without an operating referendum, the district cannot maintain the level of programs, staffing, and services our family expect. Our goal is to protect the future of Mississinawa students while being fiscally responsible. As Superintendent Jeremy Fuel has said, we are committed to being transparent. We've listened to our community and reduced transfer numbers, but SEA 1 has created a financial gap we cannot close without a partnership. This is about protecting our classrooms, our buses, and our programs for kids today and in the future. One of the most important things for our community to understand is that school funds are not always interchangeable. We can't take bond money and use it for teachers' salaries or transportation. Every dollar is tied to a specific fund with legal guidelines. That's why projects like scoreboards and buses are funded through bonds, while day to day operations are supported by different revenue sources. Thank you for taking the time to listen and for supporting Mississinawa Community Schools. Go Indians.